I want to go on from campus. Young people are go hard from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one now. Yeah. Walk on from campus. How we are carry hard from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, yeah, and that's a one. Hey, some make us again listen, let me tell you this. Students, I will make we do this. Oh yes, we create this space just for you. Make we talk about you, make we talk about school, government and politics, sports, academics, anything that concern you. I don't know when love pass through. It's all about the gospel. I'll tell you what one from campus. Things are going on from campus. Come on, tell me what one. Campus connection, and that's a one. Hey, I walk one from campus. And we are carrying out from campus. Come on, tell me what one. I walk one. Hey, walk one. Everybody want to know.
All right.
Wagwan pan campus.
Hello, everybody.
Greetings, one another, and welcome to yet another episode of Campus Connection. You excited? Because me excited, you know.
I'm excited. I'm Annestta, by the way. And you are? Who are you?
I am Johnathan, and we are back because we weren't here last week.
Yes.
But big up to Daniel Blake, who held it down for us. You know, we welcomed him into our classroom and he did his thing, and we're really appreciative concerning that. But how are you though? How are you doing?
I am well. I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that God spared our great nation from this hurricane storm, whatever.
Listen, I tweeted recently and I was like, if this is the outer bands of the hurricane, I can just imagine what would have happened if we were in its direct path. So we have to give God thanks for that.
Yes.
What a mighty God we serve, amen.
I'm all for it. Like if you want to just praise him right now, we can do that.
Because we serve a mighty God, we have a mighty show, very, very mighty show coming up. You see what I did there? Yeah. No? Okay, cool.
No.
All right. So in this evening's show, we have education news and bulletin. At 5:45, we have our honorable student, who is Brianna Bisnat, former student council president at the Immaculate Conception High and member of the national badminton team. And she's a proud recipient of 17 passes in her CXC examination. So you have to stick around because it's going to be exciting.
Of course. And then at 6 o'clock, we talk about it. We're just like a talk about it. The pill popping, substance abusing thing that's going on among our students. Rummy bears, Molly pills, edibles, vape. We want to know what are some of the factors contributing to drug abuse among students. We also want to talk about what do the drugs do? How do they affect the moods of our students? And what are the common drugs that are being abused among students? We'll be having our guest, Mr. Daniel Brown. He's a substance abuse officer at the National Council on Drug Abuse. So looking forward to that conversation.
Promises to be very interesting, so you want to listen in on that. And then at 6:20 p.m. we have our social media talkback question, and we really want to know if a student is from the inner city or if they're from uptown or from rural areas. What are the chances of them engaging in drug abuse? So the smoking, the drink, well, substance abuse on a whole, the smoking, the drinking, all of that. So we want to hear from you. So do you think somebody from the uptown areas of Jamaica, are they more likely to abuse substances, or do you think those from the rural areas, do you think that they would be more likely to abuse substances? So share your feedback with us via Facebook or YouTube. That's at Love 101 FM Jamaica, because we're live right now, or via our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125.
Absolutely. And now we're just going to go to our education news and bulletin. And this is, of course, the education news for Tuesday, September 2022, and here inside Campus Connection. A 15-year-old boy is scheduled to face the court to answer to the charge of illegal possession of ammunition. The boy was found in possession of the ammunition at the high school he attends in Portmore St. Catherine on Friday, September 23. Reports from the Portmore police are that about 2:30 p.m., the teen was searched and 2 rounds of ammunition, one 9mm cartridge and one 5.56 cartridge were found. And so the police were summoned and the boy was handed over to them. He was subsequently charged. The St. Mary police are investigating reports of sexual assault of a female student at a high school in the parish last Monday. However, acting Area 2 Commander SSP Dwight Powell said it is yet to be authenticated. Reports have suggested that the student was dragged into a bathroom at the school and sexually assaulted while classes were in session. The reports claim that the school administration have confirmed that investigations are ongoing in a case of alleged rape of a student at the school. Figures by the Jamaica Constabulary Force show a 15% drop in the number of rape cases reported across the island up to September 17, compared to the same period in 2021. As outrage intensifies over the alleged rape of a student at St. Mary High, the victim's family has opted to pull her from the public education system. The family is fearful that if she is sent to another school, the incident may happen again, adding that the child will be homeschooled as she remains severely traumatized. Principal of Edwin Allen High School, Jermaine Harris, said he is not able to speak to a video where students excuse me, where students are seen wiping off what a teacher is writing on a chalkboard. Harris said that he first saw the video on Sunday and has not been able to speak to anyone about it as yet. However, he confirmed that the teacher in the video does in fact work at the school. Principal Harris said he has not received any reports from the teacher concerning the video. The first time he heard about the video would have been on Sunday, and he has not yet gotten any opportunity to investigate and to speak with the teacher and the students seen in the video. Jamaica's education system is making significant steps which are having a positive impact on the lives and livelihoods of education stakeholders throughout the country. In the midst of many long-standing challenges, the huge learning loss due to the ongoing novel coronavirus pandemic, resource constraints, and external and internal pull factors, the Ministry of Education and Youth, MOEY, is conscientiously improving the teaching and learning conditions for students, teachers, and other stakeholders. Online learning, or learning with the help of mainly electronic devices, has enabled our students to continue meaningful learning engagements while it was not prudent to have face to face contact at the height of the pandemic. Many lessons, good and bad, have been learned. The MOEY will improve upon the good ones and, of course, pull out all the stops to correct the others. It's now time for Campus Bulletin.
All right. Passion and Purity, in association with the Manchester High School present High School Conference and CTIA Forum on Saturday, October 1, 2022 from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. under the theme Passion, Purity, and Purpose. There will also be a gospel concert featuring Perpetual Sounds of Praise, Ryan Davis, Marsha Jarrett, ZJ Deal, and many more. Admission is free, so for more information, visit at Passion and Purity JA on social media. And that's all the news we have for you today inside Education News and Bulletin. I am Johnathan Fletcher, and before me was
Annestta Samuels. Thank you so much, Johnathan. We just want to make one slight correction. It's the news for Tuesday, September 27. I did
Yes.
say September 20th, but it's actually September 27.
All right, all right. So that was a lot to take in, to be very honest. Boy, so many things happening in Jamaica, especially on our campuses, and we just have to pray
Right.
and hope that the Lord will intervene in any way, shape, or form. At this moment in time, we are going to a break.
Mm-hmm.
So stick and stay with us here on the Family Station Love 101. This is Campus Connection.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Wayne.
And we are the Mitchells. Our life is a busy vibe. So Flow Yarden Road is made for our vibe.
Power your everywhere vibe with Yarden Road and get up to 150 megabits per second fiber fast internet at home and fully loaded mobile with unlimited social and YouTube data. Anywhere talking text plus gigs and gigs of any use data. All for a special offer of $4,999 plus GCT. Yarden Road is for the way you live. Flow, Jamaica's network. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
We are family.
Hi, I'm Dr. Colleen Beckles, General Manager of the Family Station Love 101 FM. I want to encourage you to act from a place of love. In everything that you do, think of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Let's reignite the love.
We are family.
You love Grace Foods, come dance with me. Whether you are wild or you are pitney. We make everybody happy evidently. Grace in every house, in every con. Grace with the new dip, GK fit. Lead by a mile like a jockey with a whip. Talk to we nice, don't make your mouth slap. Grace move in the world, everybody knows. 100 lit, 100 years in every basket. 100 years of great friendship. Grace move in the world, everybody knows.
Grace, celebrating 100 years of taste that moves you.
Okay, where are the campus eyes?
All right.
All
Welcome
right,
back.
all
Welcome
right.
back.
And we're back. And of course, it's Campus Connection here on the Family Station Love 101. If you're just joining us, thank you so much for being here with us. Remember, you can jump on our Facebook or YouTube live at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And we also want to hear from you. So send us your WhatsApp messages to 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. All right, we are continuing in our show, and it's now time for Honor Roll or Honor Roll
Dum, dum, dum.
Student. Listen, I have to brace ourselves whenever we're going to honor roll, you know. So our honor roll student for today is Brianna Biznot. She is former Immaculate Conception Student Council head and member of Jamaica's national badminton team, who is now pursuing a degree in, let me slow down for this one, biomedical engineering at the University of the West Indies, Mona, UA. She has racked up, she has racked up 17 passes in her CXC examinations. And let's break it down. 7 grade 1s in CSEC and 2 2s, 4 grade 1s in Cape Unit 1, 3 grade 1s in Cape Unit 2, and 1 2. So, you know,
Wow.
a real bright sparks we are dealing with.
Yes,
mean-
and she was also placed in the top 50 for Cape Unit 1 subjects. Wow. Across the
amazing.
Caribbean. That is amazing. And on
Ladies
top
and
of all
gentlemen.
of these achievements, can you believe Brianna also tutored students across the Caribbean in the subjects of pure math and computer science while sitting her own examinations? So it's a student-led program known as the Exam Relief Aid. Brianna, welcome to Honor Roll.
A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
Thank you
my
so much for the introduction.
Wow. Just congratulations on all your achievements so far. It's
Thank you
quite
so much.
extensive.
All right, Brianna, firstly, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How are you both doing?
We are
We're good.
weathering the storm.
Slightly intimidated.
Slightly.
But feeling like we've done nothing with our lives. Just joking.
No.
But take us back to your examination period. Well, not the examination period. When you were checking for your results, what kind of emotions were you experiencing? I'm talking about the most recent time. What kind of emotions were you experiencing?
Well, if I'm being completely honest, even though a lot of people might think that because I study and put in the work, I might not be nervous, I might just think, oh, I have this, I don't have to worry about it. I do. And most people actually do, despite even all the efforts that they put in.
Mm-hmm.
So on the day that results came out, I was actually in class. I was at my first day of university. So
Oh,
on top of the nerves I had for checking my results that day, it was also the first day of university for my whole life. So
so it's a lot of emotion.
I was feeling a lot.
Wow.
Wow.
Yes,
And
needless to say,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just saying that. So when I checked them and I saw the grades, I was very happy, and so I was very relieved. Yeah.
Wow. Awesome. And Brianna, what would you say is like I don't even know if it makes sense at this point to ask you if you have like a subject that's most challenging because you seem to do so well at all of them. But did you have a subject that you would say, wow, this one always it's tricky for me?
I actually do. Growing up, I'm more of a math-based, physics-based person, and so coming up through my education, I've always not necessarily struggled, but I always found things related to English a little more challenging for me.
Hold on. Let us all push pause right here. This is quite interesting. So you're saying the subject that persons normally shy away from, that persons normally hate,
Yeah.
Easy for her.
was easy peasy,
Physics and
physics, maths,
math.
little bit of something.
But
Um,
different, I suppose.
but but English is what you really, wow,
Yes,
that's
I'm not
interesting.
necessarily terrible at it, but it just comes a little harder than the other subjects.
So it's less
And
natural.
yes,
Mm,
and so which is why I was going to bring up the fact that my most I'm probably most proud of my one and straight A profile in communication studies in Unit 1 because
mm,
it was really a challenge for me. Even my teacher in lower six, her name is Mrs. Latoya Thomas. She was one of my favorite teachers in high school. She
mm-hmm.
helped me so much and helped me put in so much time into the subject. And ironically, I actually came third in Jamaica for the subject last year. So it was quite a
Oh,
shocker for me.
congrats.
So
Congrats. Okay, go ahead, Jonathan.
there you were, saying to yourself, boy, communication studies, boy, I can't bother. I mean, I'm just imagining the thoughts that you may have been having, and then you are surprising yourself, in coming third in
Straight A
communication studies with
profile.
a straight A profile. Wow.
Yes.
We dealt with the challenging subject. Am I to then assume that math would be your favorite subject?
Yes, it is actually.
You don't hear the thing said the lady tutors math
No, man,
while she's sitting
I
her
really had
exam.
to
She's
ask.
still
I really had to ask.
Yes, it is my favorite subject, and so I actually enjoy doing it, but I also enjoy helping others do it as well because there's some satisfaction you get from actually helping someone else do the work and actually getting it right and having them. It just helped their whole examination period. I just love that
Mhm.
feeling.
But what would
so
you say is your most? Sorry, go ahead.
no, I wanted you to just stick a pin right there and tell us about the exam relief aid. Like, how did that even come about? Like, what were you
Okay,
thinking? How did that happen?
so exam relief aid is actually not mine. It
Okay.
is the former Kingston College head boy Malachi Allwood's organization, and he started it about a few years ago, and so it happens every year. This year, though, I was given the opportunity to become a tutor, and so I tutored pure mathematics, and I also tutored computer science alongside Michael Cook and Maurice, and Michael
Wow.
also tutored physics as well. So not only were there subjects for CAPE Unit 2 the year I was in, but there was also subjects for Unit 1 and also some CSET classes as well.
Wow. And what was it like? Like, how did you even balance that tutoring while preparing for exams for yourself?
Well, the main thing I would suggest, really, if you want to go that route, is to just adjust your timetable so it also align your studying time doesn't align with your teaching time, but your teaching time also aligns with time that is not your free time, but is your time that you want to also go over some stuff. So
Hmm.
I would have my studying time different from my teaching time, but my teaching time would still be time that I would use to practice, to reinforce my topics, and also utmostly help me with my exams, because teaching the topics also do help you in your exams as well. So it was also a help on my side.
Oh, okay.
Wow,
Interesting.
that is something else. But take us a little bit into your social life. Because
Do
you're
you
doing
have one?
all well, yeah, you're doing all of this academic work. What's life like as it relates to your social circle and space?
Socially, I like to think I have a social life. You know, I have my main group of friends that I met at Immaculate,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, we've remained friends since then. So we're still all friends now, even though not all of us are in the same place. Some are abroad and some are at other points in life. We still
Mm-hmm.
remain friends, and every now and then, once we get the opportunity, we go out, have lunch, talk.
Nice,
She
nice.
said every now and again.
Everyone.
Like, like, okay, can you help me to understand something? Because you have 17 CXC subjects. Help me to understand, how can you do well at so many exams? Like, what is your study routine like? I mean, I know you shared a little bit on it earlier, but is there anything else, any nugget that you can give us, like us
Yes,
who want,
actually.
yeah.
The biggest advice that I always give people whenever they ask me that question is to pay attention in class, literally. Because personally, I play badminton, as you know, but I'm also involved in so many other extracurricular activities. And because of that, I don't have as much free time, because between school and my extracurricular and my social life, I don't really have much time. And so
Mhm.
the biggest thing for me was, when the teacher is teaching in class, pay attention and actually learn in the class, because when you do that, it takes away the need to be teaching yourself the whole topic over at home.
Oh,
And
okay.
when you're paying attention in class as well, if you are not understanding or if you're not grasping, you have the teacher right there, so you can go and ask and
Mm.
you can go and talk to them after. I find that a lot of my colleagues, and sometimes if I'm sleeping, I realize that they might, say, I'm really tired right now and I just don't feel like to pay attention in class. And then they say, I'm just going to look over this when I go home. But then when you do that and you push it down to when you go home, you're now taking away your free time that you're supposed to be resting for the next day and trying to learn the topics. And then you might not even grasp the topics all on your own by yourself, or maybe not as best as you would in the class with the teacher explaining it to you. So that would be my biggest advice for
Mm.
everyone.
Powerful, absolutely powerful. I know that you're in university, you're studying biomedical engineering. That sounds
Right.
like a lot. It sounds like it's. But why biomedical engineering though?
Well, my main focus was actually engineering,
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, I am good at math and I'm good at physics. And in when I was choosing my career or choosing whatever I wanted to study, and I also use this method for choosing my subjects in school, I didn't necessarily choose my subjects based on what I want to do in the future necessarily, but I chose them based off of what I'm good at, because it doesn't make any sense you try to kill up yourself to study something because you think that it'll make a lot of money, but you don't like it or you're not good at it and you're just not enjoying it. And so since I've been good at math and physics, I decided to pursue engineering because it's a really good mix between the two. And also, my father is an engineer, and because
Mm.
of that, seeing him do his job and also just do the things that he's able to do, it has really inspired me to also go into engineering. And in terms of the biomedical part, well, I did the sciences in high school. I did the sciences in CSEC, even though I didn't take up back all of them in CAPE. I still did them and I still did like them. And
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't really want to limit my options in terms of what I'm going into. So if it is that maybe 2 years down the line, I realize, maybe engineering wasn't for me, I still have the opportunity to maybe branch off into something else.
Wow. And can you tell us what you hope to I guess what is your next move? I mean, I know you're in school now, but what exactly are you wanting to achieve? Your next big achievement?
Well, my next big achievement. Well, like you said, I'm in school right now, so I suppose I am aiming to get my undergraduate degree. And after that, I hope to continue my studies to do a master's and hopefully a PhD. And also, like I said, I play badminton. So during this period right now, since I'm just matriculating into university, I'm kind of trying to get a feel of what the schoolwork is like and how I can best balance that with my game, because coming up next year, I also have hopes on competing more than I do now. So right now, the level of training that I'm doing is in hopes of competing next year and hopefully being able to carry home some medals. So right now, I'm just trying to get a feel of everything so that I can best know how to adjust my schedule.
Wow.
Nice.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Brianna Bisnot. She graciously
Might as well. You might as well.
Might as well. Based on where she is going, that is powerful. Do you have anybody that you want to big up or anything that you want to say especially to the listening audience?
Oh, well, before I say the people that I want to pick up, there is something that I would like to add. Unfortunately for me, my car was actually stolen last week, Friday, off of the compound in the engineering parking lot. So I just wanted to use the opportunity to ask anybody if they see anything or hear anything. You can contact me on my Instagram at brianna.bisnot. And also, I just wanted to use the opportunity to urge everybody else to be mindful of your surroundings and to also be careful, because nowadays the crime, it doesn't seem to be easing up. And
what kind of car was it?
It was a 2013 Nissan March gray. Yes, and it happened during the school day while I was in class, but it could have been different. I could have been coming back to my car, I could have been in the car. And so those things over the weekend have really had me reflecting on those, and also thinking that even all the other cars that have been stolen, even across the island, it could go down so much more worse. So I just want to encourage everybody else to just stay safe and to be mindful and to take extra precaution in that way. In terms of the people who I want to pick up, of course, my parents, I love them very much, Keisha Billings and Michael Bisnot. And I just want to pick up all my friends that are continuously supporting me and helping me throughout my journey.
Wow, we're so sorry that happened to you last week, Friday. So please be on the lookout for a 2013 Nissan March. Is a gray, you said?
Yes.
Yes, please. Let's see if we can get Brianna back her car.
Right, because she needs to play badminton and
and
she
all
needs
those
to
wonderful
get
things.
some more degrees and titles under her name. But thank God for protecting you through that.
Oh,
you
I
had
also
something else you wanted to add?
Yes, that my badminton bag was also in my vehicle.
Wow.
And my badminton bag had all my equipment and all of my training gear. So if it is that, even if you don't see the car, but you see the bag, it's a blue Yonex bag. It's really big. It's really hard to miss if you see it out in the open. So if you also see that, I'd really appreciate the communication.
All right, let's work together to get Brianna back her bag and her car as soon as possible. Dr. Bree, thank you so much for making the campus connection.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me.
It was such a pleasure.
And all the best. Wow. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
I think it's time for a break.
It is time for a break. Join us on the next side of the break. It's Campus Connection here on Love 101.
Planning to sit the January CXC CSEC exams privately? Register with Overseas Examinations Commission before the registration deadline, October 14, 2022. Visit our Kingston office or Montego Bay office to complete your application form or send an email to help@overseasexams.org.jm. Follow our social media pages at Overseas Exams for more details. Remember, if you plan to sit the January CXC CSEC exams privately, the registration deadline is October 14, 2022.
Sometimes all we need is a listening ear. The listening ear, the counseling, the logical reasoning, and spiritual guidance are what appeal to us. That's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, the counselor, your counselor on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you. Anything. Tune in, listen, call in, text or voice message. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. Right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
Don't miss Youth Sounds every Wednesday at 4:32, a program prepared by youth, presented by youth, and brought to you by the Jamaica Baptist Union. Listen as youth discuss topical issues that affect them, given their perspective, guided by the Word. That's Youth Sounds every Wednesday at 4:32 on the family station, Love 101. Youth Sounds.
You never let me go.
Grace, celebrating 100 years of taste that moves you.
The time by Grace Foods is
6 p.m. or 6:01 rather, here on the family station, Love 101. Welcome back to Campus Connection. It's so good to have you.
All right. So before the break, we were talking to Brianna Biznot, our honor roll student, and now we are going to go into our Let's Talk About It segment. And Johnathan, I must say, what is happening in our schools? I guess we're about to find
so many things. I am just like, wow, I cannot believe that all of these things are happening.
Yeah, and we have with us Mr. Daniel Brown, Substance Abuse Officer at the National Council of Drug Abuse, here to talk with us about the pill-popping, substance abusing students, talking about rummy bears and molly pills and edibles and all of these things. So welcome to the show, Mr. Brown.
Divine blessing to everyone. Thank you for having me this evening.
Sir Brown, you must have your hands tied with all that is happening on our campuses here in Jamaica. First of all, how are you?
I'm dry. Thank God we only had little water, nothing else. So I am doing well. I'm
good stuff. Good stuff. So let's get straight into the meat of the matter. But we want to know what exactly is the role and function of the National Drug Abuse Council, on drug abuse.
All right, so it's twofold. We primarily deal with policy. Well, three. We deal with policies, so that means that we help the nation when it comes to substance use related problems in our country. Mm-hmm. We deal with prevention programs where we go into schools and different organizations and talk to different students, workplace about the dangers of substance use. And for those who already have a substance use problem, we do treatment. So we basically work all angles in order to help persons have a more successful life.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say are some of the substances that are currently just coming up as a problem among our students?
All right. So you have well, let's say we have the traditional drugs. So the traditional drugs are ganja, alcohol, and tobacco. Those have been around for a long time. So now what you have, what I say now, is the emerging drug use or new drugs on the market. So you have the pill popping culture at this moment, whether it be ecstasy or molly. You have persons who are vaping. You have persons who are doing edibles like the gummy. They call it the rummy gummy. Right. Okay. So you also come the rummy gummy, or you also have the ganja gummy. So any of these things are emerging.
Wow. So, well, I know in my time, these things were around, not as prevalent as now, but you know, things are really, really out there. So what would you say are some of the factors that are contributing to the escalation then, if you want to put it that way, as relates to substance abuse in schools?
Right. So there's not one factor contributing to it. There's multiple different factors. As you know, when it comes to substance use, there's many different reasons why persons use a drug. Right? Sometimes it can be influenced by the music at the present moment. Like you do have a lot of different artists who are promoting different things. And as you know, when it comes to children or youths, they're very curious. They want to know why. So since your favorite artist is singing a particular song, then they, let's say if they struggle with a low self-image of self, they will follow the crowd instead of staying away. So we also have to understand you have self-esteem and you have crowd esteem. So the pressure of the crowd is so overwhelming that your resistance to it is very weak. So you just move along with what your friends say or do. Right? Some things are also cultural. Part of the culture, you are exposed to certain different things. So you do have some cultural things out there, as well as you have parental neglect. You do have a lot of children who are raising themselves. Mother goes to work from 7 o'clock, come back home 7 o'clock or 8 in the morning, they are left alone. So we do have multiple different factors.
Okay. And what would you say is the approach that the National Council of Drug Abuse is taking to kind of stem this problem that we're seeing on our campuses?
All right. So like what we're doing now, we are doing public education. We're putting the word out there. All we can do is give you the information. At the end of the day, you choose what you do with the information. We're also working with a lot of your peers. For example, now we'll train other persons to come, your peers to come and talk to you, implement different programs within your school and a different organization. We're taking what we call a holistic approach. We work with the individual, the school, the community, the churches. We're trying to put all those different factors in place to give our youth the best shot at life as possible.
Wow, so many things to unpack. You said something I believe that was very important a while ago: self-esteem versus crowd esteem. I don't think I've ever heard it like that before. So that I find rather interesting. As it relates to crowd esteem, though, because I can't imagine that these substances, they are not free. So how do you think that our students are getting their hands on these type of substances?
Well, some of them are putting money together. Like I will give you a recent example. I was up by Papine recently, and I saw a bunch of students. I don't think they passed grade 7. There was let's say about 6 of them in a particular store, both males and female, and they were asking someone in the store to sell them a vape machine with the vape. Yeah, selling them the vape, right? And the vape was for $2,000. And these are grade 7 students from a particular high school. And they put together in order to buy the vape, so they all share it.
Wow.
Right? So there are different persons what will have the money themselves, but they're also putting, it's like, I don't want to say throwing partner, but they're putting the money together in order for purchase certain substance. So the money is out there. Whether they're getting from their families or they're getting from their friends. So they are seeking money to support their addiction. Not out there.
What would you say from your experience that where these students come from? Is there like any information on just the demographic of the students that tend to practice drug abuse that you can speak to?
No, it cuts across all, All it's not limited to the downtown, middletown or uptown. It cuts right across, because at the end of the day, youths are youths. They're curious by nature. They're impacted by what they see. Like I remember the 3 monkeys back in the day where you say, hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil. Most of the time, the ears or the eyes are not guarded. So whatever comes in, that's what controls their subconscious. So it really spans all of those demographics. It's not limited to one. If I say downtown now would be more exposed to ganja, alcohol, tobacco, but when I say a Molly now, 1 pill goes from about 1,500 to 3,000. Right? A pill. So
just one pill.
Just 1 pill.
Wow.
So what some people do is buy one and cut it in two or cut it in four.
Okay. So you said they're pooling together to purchase these things and then they're sharing it amongst themselves.
Yeah, that's correct.
All right. So I can just imagine based on all of this, it must be affecting learning. Is there any study out there that's suggesting that, hey, this is affecting learning in general within our schools?
All right. So we do understand how the brain functions, and your brain is not yet fully mature or fully developed until in your 20s. So when you start using something, let's say in your teenage years, it affects a part of the brain, your prefrontal cortex, will control decision making and different things as you get older. So the earlier you start using substances, the research has shown that the older you get, the slower the brain works. So there is long-term damage to it, whether it affects a person's short-term memory or it affects a person's long-term memory. And remember, the very important thing to remember, we're all memories. So if you take away your memories, you're left with what?
Nothing. Right. Wow.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of things. And the body, let us say we don't make the best decisions when we are younger. As we go older in life, we learn from experiences, right? So I talk to my youths and I say, boy, don't make it's like how would I put this now? You are instant no. So it's we call it instant gratification. It's all about this moment right now. So you can't see yourself out of this moment because you're only focusing on this particular moment.
Yes.
So you're not looking at 5 years down the road, because a lot of young persons are career focused, but a lot of young persons also this moment focused.
So with that being said, Sir Brown, based on what is happening in schools right now, I would just imagine that we are, I don't want to say in trouble, but it seems as if we are going down a path as a nation where our students are, tapping into spaces that they really shouldn't be in. So the real question is, do you think that the pandemic, as we're coming out of the pandemic, do you think that the pandemic was one of the major factors as relates to why students decided, or are deciding rather, to go down this path?
I think it's not, I wouldn't say one of the major, I would say it's one of the factors. For example, before the pandemic, we have children who are dealing with depression, right? We had children who are anxious. We have children who are growing up in homes where they are being sexually and physically abused. We have all of these different things. So I will say that what the pandemic did was heighten all of these different things, because most of our youth and different persons are locked in the home. They couldn't go nowhere.
Right.
So their only means of dealing with that particular issue at that moment is to smoke or to drink. Like most of the persons now, you'll see on the road or somewhere, you talk to them and say, sir, that's a whole of meds, right? And that meds is simple just to get away from the stressors of life. The problem is a lot of persons during their early years never learn how to cope with stress properly. So we have a lot of persons who have low to no coping skills. So the only skill what they have learned is to either evade or to use something to feel better about themselves. So when I talked to him about holding the meds, I said, boy, you're holding meds from 7 to 7 at night or 10 at night. What do you have to show for it? Right? So there's different ways. So there's different factors that contribute to it. I talked to some young men who say, sir, it is easier to get it is easier to get a ganja to smoke than food to eat. So sometimes I smoke just to mask the hunger, what I'm feeling. So there's a lot of different things taking place.
Wow. Can you say if there are any current campaigns that are going on in our schools to even reduce the drug abuse among our students? Any campaigns?
So we have one at this moment. We have a few. So I'll just talk about the Talk the Truth campaign. The Talk the Truth campaign is basically a peer-led approach. So basically it's where we train you to go and talk to your own friends, right? Because at the end of the day, let us say I'm don't want to say I'm an old man, but at the end of the day now, your friend reasoning is different from me reasoning with you.
True.
I can reason from a more elder point of view, but your friend talk to you, right? So if that person now realize that you have a bigger problem that they can handle, then they introduce you to me, which is the trained therapist. So we are building partnership where we're working together to solve this.
Okay. Wow, so many things we're learning here inside Campus Connection on the family station Love 101. Remember that we want to hear from you. So if you have anything to chime in, send us a WhatsApp message at 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. We're talking with Mr. Daniel Brown from the National Council on Drug Abuse, and we'll be right back here on the family station Love 101 on the other side of this break. Stick and stay with us.
What I count, yeah. Hey, me count, you count. Census say all of we count. Hey, you count, me count. Census say all of we count. Hey, information needed to develop the community. Them scouts them out and I get the reports. So don't bother hide when you see them.
Census 2022. The Jamaican census will be conducted between September and December 2022.
You count, me count.
We are family. Hi, I'm Dr. Colleen Beckles, General Manager of the family station Love 101 FM. I want to encourage you to act from a place of love. In everything that you do, think of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Let's reignite the love.
We are family. I've got love in my heart and I'm feeling blessed.
Another World of Worship Wednesday is coming your way in Zada Live, 1 to 5 September 28. Packed with worship and information. Stick around for prayer blast at 2 o'clock as we ring in the prayer bells of heaven. 2:15 we feature Chris Chomlin as our worship artist of the day. Then at 3 p.m. inside Community Conversations, we explore top places to visit in Portland. All this and more will come your way in Zada Live, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. This World of Worship Wednesday, September 28, with yours truly, Sarah and the Chirpy One on the family station, Love 101.
Give him praise, give him praise. Okay, where are the campus eyes?
Welcome back to Campus Connection.
Yes. Before the break, we were talking with Mr. Daniel Brown. He is the substance abuse officer at the National Council on Drug Abuse, and he is back here with us to just shed some light on drug abuse among our students, rummy bears, molly pills, edibles, vapes. Mr. Brown, if you will, let's talk solutions more now. What would you say as a society we can do to help or to partner with the National Council on Drug Abuse to curb this issue among our students?
So one of the things what we have realized is that we need to put back some protective factors in place when it comes to guiding our children. You will make some mistakes, but don't make a mistake what will cost you your life or cost you a few years to come from. So some of the strategy is, there's an old African word. When it's translated, it simply means I am because we are. We are one. So we used to, and I think you have heard this saying as well, it takes a village to raise a child.
Yes.
We need to go back to this where it's a village approach. We need to go back. So we are working within the communities where we're doing a lot of outreach and working to straighten the protective factors in the communities. We're working with the shops and bars in the communities not to sell alcohol or anything to children under the age, because the sad reality is as young as 12 or 13 can go to a shop and bar and buy a cigarette in their uniform, because at the end of the day, they value the money over the child. And I should also say this, the youngest person what I've seen for smoking cannabis is 6 years old, right?
Wow.
And that was because of negative parenting and different things. So we are training the parents how to be parents, because not everybody knows what it means to parent a child. So we are training the parents. We're going back to the community. We are working with different agents, because it has to be a partnership between everybody. This is not a one agency thing. This is us getting the news out via the the media and different things, going into the communities, working with parenting group, reestablishing parenting group, teaching parents how to be a parent, and also mending the bonds between a child and parent, because you do have a lot of distance between the two. Those are just some of the factors.
Sir Brown, recently we saw in the news where a 21-year-old young lady, 21-year-old young lady, she did, they say it's 21 shots, but that never look like shots to me at all. I don't know much about shots.
Shot is a very small thing,
very
but
small.
it's half a cup of pure alcohol.
Right.
So what happened was this is not the first reported case of alcohol poisoning. So basically what happened to her body is that alcohol is what you call a depressant drug. So it slows down your nervous system. So when she consumed that large volume of alcohol all at once, it couldn't filter out of her body fast enough. So that is what killed her, because when let us say you drink about one bottle of beer, one bottle of beer takes at least an hour to hour and a half to come out of your system.
All right, let's unpack that. Let's unpack that. So you're saying
one while to filter it. One beer. Let us say just
one beer.
One beer. It takes a while to come out of your system. So when she and now when you have to look at the alcohol beverage itself to see how much alcohol is in it.
The percentage.
Yes. Say a bottle of beer is about 5 to 7%. The rum, on the other hand, now is 40-something% to 60%.
Oh my God. Wow.
So when she consumed that volume of alcohol in that short period of time, the body did not have enough time to get it out of the system. So that's what leads to the body shuts down. So all the organs were shutting down in our body. So that's why even her breathing you can drink so much that the body, which automatically allows you to breathe, forgets how to breathe itself.
Because it's slowed down.
It's slowing down the nervous system. So it's like a coma you're going into.
Wow.
Where you won't come from.
Because I read further in the news that her friends, they went to quote unquote friends, they went to wake her up, to flower her, the tradition that we have in Jamaica, and she was just unresponsive. So now that you've shed some light as relates to the comparison with the one bottle of beer, taking 1 hour to filter out, I can just imagine how her body was literally fighting to stay alive.
Right. As I said, there's more than one cases of this, but not necessarily in Jamaica. But the thing about this is the friends did not know. And at the end of the day, I've always said this to persons, it's not everybody you associate with is your friend.
Right.
So you have to understand what friendship is or what a friend is. So you have a lot of persons who are there laughing and encouraging her along, but not thinking, say, boy, maybe
this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Certainly we do thank you for just the enlightenment that has come just because of this conversation. We're understanding more about drug abuse among our students. We're understanding how we can help. And I think that's the important part. Understanding that we too play a part in helping our students to not abuse drugs, taking that holistic approach, as you said. I think that's fundamental. Like every issue that we're seeing in our schools, it goes back to, okay, how are they being raised? Who are their associates and friends? It really does take a village. So thank you so much, Mr. Brown, for being on with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, Sir Brown, take care.
All right, peace and love.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I've grown from that conversation.
Listen, I learned so much in that very short space of time concerning this whole issue that we're having in our schools. One beer in Annestta, one beer takes 1 hour.
Wow.
To filter out of your system. That's crazy to me.
21.
21.
More than a shot.
More than a shot and higher concentration of alcohol. Boy, we send our condolences to the family and friends of that young lady. But it really goes to show that we really and truly need to look out for our young people as much as possible. Look for warning signs also of substance abuse and try as much as possible to find out how we can help them. Because many times we think that we're helping, and we end up doing much more damage than what we initially anticipated to do.
Certainly. And I think we heard Mr. Brown's take on our social media talkback question, which is, do you think where our students reside, does that contribute to their abuse of drugs? And from his professional perspective, he said it was across the board.
Right across the
Your
board.
your demographic, your location really had nothing to do with it. It was more so your your parenting
Crowd
environment,
esteem.
crowd esteem, all of these different factors, the social factors that you are dealing with at home and different things. So I think that would be my take too. I would even take it a step further, that when it comes to drug abuse, you're really dealing with the human will. And you if you don't have Christ, if you don't have, like, think about us, Johnathan. We know the Lord. We know He's a comforter. And so
Yeah.
when things get difficult, we know who we turn to. But there are so many of our young people who don't know the Lord, and so they don't have that coping mechanism. They don't have that thing that keeps them grounded. And I really feel for them,
And that's a question that I've been asking a lot. If life is so hard and we have Jesus in our lives, I can just imagine those persons who do not have Jesus in their lives. Somebody who you can really, when you're in a difficult space or in a difficult situation, you can call on to say, Jesus, this is what is happening.
Right.
And I'd really like you to help me out of this situation. That peace that passeth all understanding. I can't imagine myself living without that, especially in the type of world that we live in now. So
Right.
I would just even want to pause to encourage our young people. Please, before you seek out other methods, seek the Lord.
Yes.
I'm talking from a place of experience. I'm not telling you anything that I've not been through. Please, as much as it is possible, seek the Lord in this day and age, because life is hard and things are hard. And the only real quote unquote escape that we
Yes.
have is the peace that passeth all understanding.
That's real. And like you said, we're talking from a place of experience, because we know some of the things that God has done for us. And even just seeking out a Bible believing fellowship, a church where you'll experience the love of God, that's important too, because a lot of times we're going through difficult things, and we can pray about them, yes, but it helps to even have that brother or that sister in our lives that we can really just talk to, that pastor, that person in our lives, that spiritual, that knows the Lord, that can help us out. So young people, that's our charge.
That is our charge to you.
Charge.
Please bring Jesus on campus and keep him there, because we really need the Lord in our schools. Boy, that was Campus Connection. Very packed show. Very packed show. A lot to unpack within this episode. But
Yes. But it was good. It was good. Very enlightening.
I want to send special thanks to our producer, Tony K. Bramfield, Timoy Butler, technical support, our guest, honorable student, Dr. Brianna Bisnat, and Mr. Daniel Brown, substance abuse officer at the National Council of Drug Abuse. Thank you so much for making a Campus Connection. I am Johnathan Fletcher.
And I'm Annestta Samuels. Until next week, bye-bye.
Come on, tell me what one. Campus Connection, yeah, that's a one.